6th-ranked team in the country, Minnesota, looking to avoid the upset over the Iowa Hawkeyes. Thanks for joining us. Michelle McMahon and Lisa Byington with you. This is the second meeting between these two teams in about a 2-week span. Minnesota took that first meeting in straight sets. This Gopher team might be that much better, though.
And that's a scary thought for Iowa. Minnesota has now been battle-tested in the Big Ten. These young players now know what to expect when they head into a Big Ten matchup. Their momentum right now is off the charts, and look out for Minnesota. But tonight will be a good test to see how their mentality stacks up against an unranked opponent. Iowa.
Let's talk about the attack here for Iowa. Who else might be better is one of their best hitters in Taylor Lewis.
Taylor Lewis, a big key for Iowa tonight. She was a part of a big lineup change for Iowa since their last meeting with Minnesota. Look for her to be involved in all 6 rotations and for Iowa to be utilizing her more in the back row as another attack option. And on Minnesota's side, I'm looking at the freshman right side attacker, Stephanie Samity, a future All-American candidate you're looking at here. She shredded the Iowa block the last time they met. 13 kills in the last meeting. They didn't have any answers for her. So explosive on that fast tempo offense that Minnesota loves to run.
Okay, always a great atmosphere in Minneapolis. The home court environment strong again tonight. Iowa's thinking upset over the top 6 home team. Hawks and Gophers coming up next. It has and still remains a very good home court advantage for Minnesota.
It does. They always seem to pack the house, and Minnesota creates such an exciting atmosphere for college volleyball. It's so close-knit inside there, which creates a lot of noise, and it's just so intimate in that environment.
Minnesota played a home match here on Wednesday against Purdue. Looked awfully impressive against the Boilermakers. It was the second straight set victory for Minnesota. And for the Iowa Hawkeyes, their starting lineup brought to you by Tachi Kara. They are excited about their future because they have a freshman setter, Bree Orr, who they're really, really excited about.
And credit to Bree Orr and her dedication to the sport. Graduated high school early to come and prepare for the fall, and just goes to show how dedicated she is to the sport, and look for her to be a tremendous asset for them for years to come.
As for Minnesota, it's not bad to have a staple at the setting position like they do with Samantha Seliger-Swenson.
Seliger-Swenson is one of the best setters in the country, if not one of the best, and she ranks 3rd in the nation with over 12 assists per set. And look for her to run a quick tempo offense. Regardless of where she is on the court, she finds a way to run this offense so well. Very impressive setting on the Minnesota side.
And that pace for the Gophers is awfully impressive. It's the first word out of they have a net violation already, and Minnesota picks up the first point. But with their offense, it's the first thing that an opposing coach always talks about is the pace and handling that Minnesota attack.
Because in your block, can't even set up for it. You can't even slow them down when they're that quick because your hands are barely across the net by the time they're already sniping you.
How about the block? That's not too shabby to start for the Gophers.
Molly Lohman getting the block going right away, coming off of an impressive performance the last several games, and look for her to be a force in that blocking position in the middle blocking.
One of the reasons why she was named the Defensive Player of the Week in the Big Ten this past week. Dug up by Wilson, and Iowa gets a point.
That's one of the areas that Von Szymanski told us coming into this was that they were going to start utilizing the back row attack more. Great defense on Iowa's side, and then a smart play to just drop it in to make the defense commit and suck them in. Claire Sheehan with a nice play.
One of the Minnesota natives who's coming back to play here in Minneapolis. We've got 3 of them on this Iowa roster. Some family and friends here in attendance to watch Iowa play as well. Bump set to Lewis. And Hart will take a try.
Perfect play to display the speed of that Minnesota attack, and a nice job by Seliger-Swenson, putting her hitters in the best possible situation to succeed. Alexis Hart, always a force to be reckoned with on the outside for the Gophers.
So Hart back to serve now. She's a player in Minnesota. You got the service error, the first there for the Gophers, but she's a player Minnesota wants to make a 6 rotation player.
And that's such an asset to be able to utilize your outside attackers in the back row, which is what Iowa did in their adjustment, letting Taylor Lewis play in the back row. The only disadvantage to that is if their defense isn't up to par, it makes it a little trickier. But the offensive upside to having one of your outside hitters in the back row as an attack option is very high.
We'll go to Jasmine Martin. She's the freshman, number 1 for Minnesota. Back set to Samity, who gets it blocked. Don't see that too often.
You don't, and that was a little bit of a higher tempo set that Minnesota typically runs, but a great job by Iowa committing and taking away that tough angle.
The defense by Taylor Lewis at the net. So Molly Kelly back to serve for point number 2 possibly. Quick set to Lohman, and it falls.
Great pass to start that play on Minnesota's side. That enabled Seliger Swenson to run that quick tempo set in the middle.
Averaged just about 2 blocks per set last week. Had a match high 7 of them in a 5-set win against Wisconsin. From the back row, and Iowa gets the point thanks to the kill by Claire Sheehan.
In that situation, really, or could have gone 4 different directions with that. Such could have gone on the outside, the middle, the right side, and then utilize the back row attack, making it a little trickier for Minnesota to key in on which player is getting that set.
Sheehan, one of the 3 freshmen on the Hawkeyes roster, as Reagan Pittman has checked in for Minnesota. Dug out by Rosado. Iowa out of system, but it doesn't matter. Taylor Lewis with another kill.
I think that's about the 3rd kill they've gotten out of the back row attack. A nice job by Iowa sticking with it, especially out of system. Minnesota block just caught a little bit late and not close and disciplined on that block.
Only 4 times has Lewis only had single-digit kills. Get another point for Iowa. And how about this start for the Hawkeyes?
Iowa creeping in on this game, doing a really good job at the service line, getting Minnesota out of system. That's the only way Iowa will have a chance against Minnesota. Pull them out of system, because Seliger Swenson is so good at running this fast attack no matter where she is. That serve is so key, and that's a perfect example of a fast tempo set on a perfect 3.0 passing situation. Watch how quick this ball comes out of Seliger's hands. No block in front of that middle blocker.
That ended a 5-1 run by Iowa.
Reagan Pittman with a nice swing and loaded up and ready for that attack.
She's been a nice addition to the roster this year. Redshirt freshman for Pittman. Again out of the back row, it's Lewis.
Taylor Lewis, and that was a smart adjustment by Szymanski to allow her to play that full 6 rotations, because watch her loading up in the back row option. When Iowa's out of system, they now have a 3rd attack option to utilize in the back row, and she's right now seeing the court really well from the back seat.
Yeah, she's a junior, a transfer out of Marquette, one of 6 transfers on this roster. The Hawkeyes looking strong to start.
The Hawkeyes came ready to play. We talked about this at the beginning, Lisa, of how Minnesota would approach this game against an unranked opponent. You can't take any nights off in the Big Ten. That's the reality of the situation. This Iowa team has taken significant strides. As much better as Minnesota is the last time they met, Iowa is that much better as well. A great job there by Pittman, loading up off of 1 foot on a one-on-one blocking situation. Watch her hit this cut angle. No chance for Iowa to defend that ball.
2nd kill for the match for Reagan Pittman. Hitting a really good hit percentage at .371 coming into this match. Here's Lauren Barnes to serve. Dug out by Barnes. And a kill for Minnesota.